Let's go White Sox. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day.
We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Adam Dunn, Alex Rios, Gordon Beckham and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Adam Jones and Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set in this homestand. This will be the rubber match of this series. We won the opener 5-2. They won yesterday 4-2. But one thing about it, and before we go any further, very happy 4th of July to each and all. Make it a safe and a reflective one. But Gordon Beckham's been swinging that bat. Gordon Beckham has been doing a terrific job, and now he's starting to hit for power. But over the last week, he's been red hot, and he's doing it by hitting the ball all over the place. As you can see, 8 of the last 9 games, he's hit safely. He's driving in runs. Hit his first home run of the year last night. So Gordon's doing it all, and now that he's hitting for power, he's going to be a force, and he'll probably move up from that 8th spot. Well, the Orioles also have a guy that's been swinging that bat. In fact, he's done something that nobody else in baseball has ever done. Have 30 home runs, 25 or more doubles before the end of June. Chris Davis is atop the leaderboard in just about every statistic. When you take a look at the year he's putting together, it's absolutely magnificent. You look at home runs, he's first. Slugging percentage, first. RBI, second, and on and on. But before you think Chris Davis is doing something that has never been done, in 85 games, the all-time leader for runs driven in, Hank Greenberg with 113. So Chris has a while to go yet, but this is a magnificent year for him. All right, couple of southpaws out there on that mound this afternoon on this Independence Day. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
For the 6th consecutive year, MLB clubs are wearing specially designed stars and striped caps from New Era. On Independence Day is part of Major League Baseball's ongoing fundraising and awareness initiatives for Welcome Back Veterans, which addresses the needs of returning veterans and their families. Major League Baseball has committed $23 million to welcome back veterans since its inception in 2008 and will once again donate 100% of its net proceeds from the sale of the caps. And welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field on this July 4th. It's hot, it's humid, as it should be. And let's take a look at how Baltimore is going to line up under Buck Showalter. Nick Markakis leading it off, then it's Machado hitting second with Jones, Davis, who's been all everything, Hardy, Roberts, McLeod, Reimold, and Taylor Teagarden catching and hitting ninth. The defense and how they will line up behind Jose Quintana. Left to right, Wells, Diaz, and Rios in the infield. Keppinger, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn. Tyler Flowers once again gets a start behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. 3-2 with an ERA just below 4. Picked up 93 innings, allowed 11 home runs. Left-handers have hit him a little better than the right-handers. The umpires for the game today: Andy Fletcher behind the plate, Rob Drake at first base, Joe West, the crew chief, is at second, and Sam Holbrook is at third. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of the series and the finale of this homestand. And before we go any further, very, very happy 4th of July once again. Make it a loving and reflective one. So here is Nick Markakis, the right fielder, hitting it .291 and the first pitch of the ball game. Taken for a strike. Markakis 5 for 7 in this series.
Nick has tacked on 9 points to his batting average, which is not an easy thing to do in the middle of the year.
Got in on him and the count 0-2. Orioles come in hitting at .271 as a team with a 4.41 ERA. They have 117 home runs. We have 78.
Against our ball club, Markakis has always been very good as Buck Showalter looks on.
That breaking ball on the way.
Orioles come into this 3.5 games in back of Boston with a 2.5 game lead over the Yankees.
Outfield slightly to the left. Gap, huge gap out there in right center field. Another good pitch in on the fist down here at the ballpark. 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. This is a good, real good Oriole ball club. And it's outstanding if Brian Roberts can stay healthy and play second base. There, he got a pretty good pitch to hit. Couldn't do anything with it. Quintana making his 17th start of the season. Right back at him. He got it. And that's out number 1.
It really helps if you score off your delivery, and sometimes it helps if you got very quick hands. This one, Hopper, would have caused some problems for Jose. But he made the play.
So here's Machado. He'll be 22 years old in a couple of days. Machado 2 for 8 in the series, hitting at .320, 6 homers, 42 knocked in, and leading the world with 38 doubles. Can't get that one high and wide. There's a bunt. You can stick that one in your pocket.
Great idea by Manny Machado, and it's one thing to have the idea, another thing to try the execution, and a third thing to actually execute. So with Keppinger back at third, Machado says, well, they're giving me a base hit. All I have to do is get it on the grass. It doesn't have to be a great bunt. And with his speed, not much you can do about it.
So here's Adam Jones. Adam at .293, 15 homers, 59 knocked in, 3 for 9 in this series. Lifetime against Quintana, 1 for 2, and that one hit was a home run. Machado 6 for 10 in stolen bases. Orioles 54 in 70 attempts.
Jose has averaged a little over 5 1/3 innings per start, and Robin would certainly like a little more from him. Got a great start from Santiago last night, and Johnny Danks with a great start. So starting pitching in this series has been very good for the Sox.
That's in the dirt.
Last 7 starts, he is the king of the no decision, but his ERA above 4.5. His last win way back on May 21st. He'd love to end that streak here today.
And that's low and inside.
The Orioles this year 14-10 against left-handed starters. Our ball club 6-12 against left-handed starters.
Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The super talented Adam Jones.
With runners on, he's been terrific. With bases empty, they have a tendency to throw him more hittable fastballs, and he's hit more home runs, but hasn't been near as good a hitter.
Sox will finish this game aboard our charter, head on down to St. Pete. 3-game series with the Rays, and after the game on Sunday we'll come right back home because we have a Monday night makeup game against the Cubs, and there are plenty of good seats available for that game, so make your plans to be with us. Chops that one foul.
Jones, one of the 3 Gold Glovers on this team. Weeder's not starting today, but he won a Gold Glove last year along with Jones and J.J. Hardy.
Diaz very deep in center field. And the 2-2 pitch. So a full count with Chris Davis on deck.
They're trying to bury the ball inside to him and jam him with the cutter, which is good because he's grounded into 9 double plays, and if you do get the ball inside, get that ground ball to the left side, very possibly could be 10.
Decent lead by Manny. And the payoff pitch. He does not go, and that's foul back.
Andy McPhail, then the general manager, made a terrific trade with Seattle. He got George Sherrill, Chris Tillman, who leads his staff in victories, Cam McCullough, Tony Butler, and Adam Jones for Eric Bedard, February 8th of 2008. So Seattle unloaded their organization, and the man you're looking at has become a star.
Machado's got the same lead. He does not go. And that is ball 4. A little bunch single, a walk. And here comes Davis. Chris Davis hitting at .331, 32 homers, 83 knocked in. Yes, 2 for 4 last night with a solo homer and a 2-run double. That was the difference in that ball game. First time Davis has faced Quintana. His home run last night right down the left field line. They measured it 360 feet, and that's the shortest home run that he has hit this year.
With runners in scoring position, he's second in the American League. Only Miguel Cabrera has been better.
.58 extra base hits. One out, 2 on. And the 1-1 pitch. Thank you very much. Live drive, caught, stepped on second. Rack them up. Double play after half inning of play. It is the Orioles nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
It's Diaza, Ramirez, and Rios at the top with Viciedo, Dunn, and Keppinger, who's been red hot, along with Wells, Beckham, and Tyler Flowers rounding it out. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Zach Britton. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. Machado, Hardy, Roberts, and Davis in the infield. Taylor Teagarden getting them out behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Zach Britton. 2-2, an ERA of 4.5, but 2-0 lifetime against our Sox with an ERA of 1.29.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. While we have a moment, let's sound a big White Sox hello and hope you're feeling better to John Guerrero, who's in Loyola Hospital recovering from surgery yesterday, and he's a big White Sox fan. So see you at the ballpark, John. Here's Diaz hitting at 261, 10 homers and 40. Driven in, takes first pitch strike from the 25-year-old southpaw out of Weatherford, Texas. Britton, 6'3", 195 pounds. Ground ball. Bobble. Ball took a funny hop on him, so Diaz aboard. That's just the 7th error on Hardy.
You don't expect a Gold Glover to make a play like this, but he did. He just flat out misses it. That ball hit the heel of his glove, went right between his legs. So a nice way to start.
Here's Ramirez. Hitting at 280, homer. He's driven in 17. 2 for 8 in the series. First pitch strike.
Fastball with good movement away from Ramirez. If he stays there, you'd love to see him try to hit that hole between first and second. There's all kinds of room on the right side.
Line drive. Safe. He gets back in.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's how the first inning ended. And for all you young players, here's a lesson. Know where the fielders are. Manny Machado does not know where Ramirez is. If he did, he would realize that that line drive was going right to him, and he wouldn't have taken off. He gets doubled off out of the inning, and they don't have a chance to score.
So 1 out, that'll bring up Rios. Rios at 268, 11 long ones and 37 RBIs. 2 for 8 in this series with an RBI. Takes first pitch strike. Count evens at 1 with Viciato on deck.
Britton spent some time in the minor leagues this year after a tough first start, but he did manage to fan 10 of our Sox hitters over 8 innings back on August 30th of last year.
And rack him up. So a double play by us, a double play by them, and after 1, no score.
You by Miller Lite.
Sox fans, on July 20th, first 10,000 children 13 and under will receive a White Sox replica batting helmet presented by Xfinity. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. So each team with a double play in the first inning. And for the Orioles, it'll be Hardy, Roberts, Nate McLeod.
We've been told coming in that J.J. Hardy has been using right and right center, but in this series at least, he's tried to pull most everything. And if he can't get the head of the bat out, he's got some power.
Outfield straight up, spread out. Takes first pitch strike. That on the outside corner. 15 homers, 46 knocked in. And that ball hit deep into left field. Nobody's going to be able to get it. Yes, he is. Casper got a good jump, stayed with it, took the right route, reaches up and hauls it in.
Casper Wells probably a little better defensively than Diane Viciedo, and he moves to his left and able to take a two-base hit away from Hardy.
Casper Wells, a good outfielder, with a very good arm. So here's Roberts. Roberts 1 for 7 in the series, and that was a home run. Keppinger off the line, even with a bag at third. Count 1-1.
Have to worry a little bit more about the power of Roberts from the right side.
Might be the key to this ball club in postseason play. You're looking at him right there. He's healthy. He is some kind of player. He gone. He likes to swing at that high fastball. 2 down. And that'll bring up McLeod.
This is what a lot of the pitchers have been doing. Going up and out of the strike zone, a pitch called higher than high. But the key is you have to get ahead of the hitter to make that effective.
Takes the bunt, takes the ball. Nate 2 for 4 in this series. Pinch hit double in the first game. And then 1 for 3 yesterday. Another double. That ball hit hard, but we got a man there. And that'll retire the side. Couple of shots. Meanwhile, after an inning and a half, still no score. Insurance picks to click this evening. Jimangio, our director of crew. Tank. Steve's going with Casper Wells. And Mike Mazza, Kenny Wiz, Tom Eichstadt, Pete Canizone, Liz Neela, Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss, Nick. Also Tommy Sheridan and his crew. We're going to go with Gordon Beckham.
Fourth of July. Beautiful day for baseball. A few clouds in the sky, bright sunshine. The rains that have been plaguing us most of this year seemingly not in attendance here today.
Weather has been absolutely brutal. Talking with Mike Mazza prior to the game, and he said this is only the second Sunday we have had that it's been a nice day, and it's going to be a nice day all day. As Tank takes ball one. A little warm. A little warm. That ball into center field. They got a good one out there. I believe I said Sunday, but we've only had 2 day games on Sunday that have been good this year. That's amazing when you're talking about April, May, and June. And Tom Skilling, of course, with WGN said this is the most rain in history through June here in Chicago. Adam takes a strike. I'm 2 for 8 with a homer in this series. Adam now with 428 home runs.
A lot of youngsters in the crowd, as you would expect.
Two and two. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today it has been dollar hot dog time here at the ballpark, with seat prices greatly reduced, food prices greatly reduced. And a full count to Adam. Adam needs one more home run to tie Paul Konerko for 44th place all time. Down ball. Roberts. They can't get him. He beats it out. So you can cancel the postgame show.
Brian Roberts, going away from the throw, does not have an overpowering arm. And Adam sniffing a base hit all the way, hustling all the way, and he's able to beat it by a step with Rob Drake on the call. It was a good effort by Roberts. But Adam, with one of the few infield hits he will get this year.
Here's Keppinger. 2 for 4 in the series. Takes ball one. Outfield, straight up and spread out. Tries to backdoor him and he misses. 2-0.
Keppinger has been one of our hottest hitters, as you can see, over the last 9 games. 467 with 5 driven in. And when you're on a good streak, many times pitcher falls behind, comes to you with a fastball. It happened last night a couple of times to Keppinger, and that's what he's looking for here.
3-0. Casper Wells on deck.
Jeff Manto, the hitting coach, got a lot of props from Adam Dunn, who said Manto worked with him tirelessly, never gave up on him, and Adam has started to hit the ball pretty well.
That strike, a generous strike given right there to Brett. 3-1. And that's ball 4.
One of my favorite days, the hot dog eating contest with Joey Chestnut once again breaking his own world record, 69 hot dogs. I believe that's in 10 minutes. Women's winner, Sonia the Black Widow Thomas. And there's Joey Chestnut. Certainly helps that Kobayashi is not in the contest. Apparently he was looking for a long-term deal and didn't get it. So Joey Chestnut, the champion once again.
And here's Casper. Takes that sinker down. Well, says faced Britton 3 times, has a hit. And that is going foul. Two on, 1 out, 1-1 to count. No score here in the bottom of the second. If you're just tuning in, and once again, a very happy 4th of July to each and all. On Independence Day, our country is 237 years old.
Nobody paying any attention to Adam Dunn at second base, and he was getting a pretty big lead and increasing it. Maybe he's thinking about taking off. Adam used to do that with regularity when it would really hurt you in a game.
That ball hit hard. They got a man there. So that's a hang with him for Wells. And that'll bring up Beckham. Gordon 5 for 8 in the series with a homer. Got his average up to 331.
See the number 4 on the sleeve of Zach Britton. Same on the sleeve of every one of these Orioles. It is the number worn for many years by the Hall of Fame manager Earl Weaver, who passed away. Earl averaged 98 wins per year and was one of the greatest managers ever in the major leagues.
There's Gordon. He's 2 for 5 lifetime off Zach Britton. Takes first pitch strike. Right on the outside edge. Nice little gap out there in left center if he can find it. Very quickly to count 0-2.
Both pretty good pitches. One on the outside corner. One on the inside part of the plate. Field down to Rob Drake. He says no. And I get a lot of emails and tweets asking me what it was like to play for Earl Weaver. Well, he was kind of crusty, but he was 23rd all-time in wins in the major leagues, and Earl treated everybody the same, which you understood. It was poorly, but he treated everybody the same. But 9th all-time in winning percentage.
There's a chopper. And it's foul. Just foul. So a break right there for Beckham.
Britton's got a good sinker. You don't think about it much from the left-handers. Usually you hear about right-handers with good sinkers, but when he's right, and he's been right against our Sox a couple of times last year, he will throw ground ball after ground ball. When he's not right, he has some problems.
A little too high. 2-2. Two on, 2 out in the 2-2 pitch. That's got a piece of it.
Taylor Teagarden behind the plate today in place of Matt Wieters. Teagarden at one point was one of the shining lights in the Texas Ranger organization, and now finds himself in a backup role with Baltimore.
And now he's got a full count. Rubber match of this set. We won the opener 5-2. They won last night 4-2. Here they go. And that ball hit fairly well into right field, but Markakis is there right at the edge of the track. Calls it in. That'll retire the side. After 2, no score.
Monday, don't miss the delayed finale of the Crosstown Cup on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as the White Sox look for vindication on the south side. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Subaru White Sox pregame live. So join us for White Sox Cubs, the Crosstown Cup finale. Monday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Here's Nolan Reimold to lead it off here in the top of the 3rd inning. Takes first pitch strike. Nice little breaking ball from Quintana. Plenty of nice seats available left for that Monday night Cub game. And after we play that game, we head on out to Detroit for 3 and then go to Philly for 3. That change up downstairs. And congratulations go out to CC Sabathia yesterday, who picked up his 200th career victory. There's a strike. 200 wins. Rivera saved it, picked up his 28th. Full count to Nolan Reimold. Nolan 2 for 6 in the series. Has been beset with injuries the last couple of years. He gone. Second strikeout for Quintana.
Our Menards pitch tracks will show you that this ball is just a touch off the corner, but Andy Fletcher's been calling the ball off the corner for both teams on both sides of the plate. So hitters at this point should realize that it will be a big zone, and they've got to be protecting.
That'll bring up the catcher, Taylor Teagarden. Taylor 3 for 31 on the season. And he takes first pitch strike. Also, if you missed yesterday's game and did not hear, Jesse Crane and Paul Konerko went on the DL. Brent Morrell and left-hander David Percy were called up from Charlotte. Jesse's okay, just a bit of a strain in the right shoulder. Had a lot of work lately.
So that graphic that Taylor Teagarden has seen Quintana twice, and he certainly has liked what he's seen. He's homered and doubled.
Two 2-1 pitch. Good rip.
That was closer than the strike he got earlier. This is a good cutter on the inside corner. And if it winds up there, it has to sweep the plate for a strike, but doesn't get the benefit of the call, so the count goes full once again.
He gone. 2 down.
Goes back to the high heat, top of the zone, and throws it right by him.
With 2 out, that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, the right fielder, Nick Markakis. Nick hit a hard comebacker to Quintana, leading off the ball game. And there's a strike to even the count of 1. Nick, good solid play. Good outfielder. Good arm. Very, very accurate. And that's where the majority of his hits are going. In to left field. So the 2-out single. Second hit given up by Quintana.
There was a time when Markakis was a big run producer and a home run hitter. But these days, as a leadoff hitter, he's taken the inside out swing on the pitches inside, not giving any ground to the left-handers, as we've seen in this series, and making himself even more valuable to these Orioles.
So here's Machado, had a beautiful bunt single. Machado currently on pace to break the Major League Baseball season record for doubles. Earl Webb had 67 back in 1931. Oh, and 1 to count. Decent lead by Markakis. There's a strike and count 0-2. Manny, who was born in Miami, is of Dominican descent.
Number 1 draft pick of these Orioles. 3rd pick overall in the draft a couple of years ago.
Nice to keep the ball in front of him, in the vicinity. 1-2. Well, the Orioles thought a lot of him because of the fact they gave him a $5.25 million signing bonus. Hopper. They're going to go to second base a short way, and that'll retire the side. They get a hit. There's one left after 2.5. Still goose eggs.
With the Blackhawks, a championship journey presented by your Chevy dealers. Tune in as CSN replays every Blackhawks victory from the playoffs and every game of the Stanley Cup final. Watch the journey that brought Lord Stanley back to Chicago beginning July 14th on Comcast Sportsnet.
We're in the bottom of the third inning. No score. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for them. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for us. It'll be Flowers and back to the top of the order with Diaz and Ramirez. Just checking other games. Cleveland leading Kansas City 3-0. Bottom of the second inning. Later on tonight, Tigers taking on the Blue Jays up at the Rogers Center. Yankees shutting out Minnesota 3-0 after 2 at Target Field. Bottom of the 6th at Citi Field. D-backs and the Mets are tied at 2. So here's Tyler hitting at 206, 8 homers. He's knocked in 22. There's a chopper 2 hopper. J.J. Hardy with a funny way to catch that one. Meanwhile, 1 out. And White Sox fans want to get closer to the action next time you're here at US Cellular Field. Upgrade your seats directly from your mobile device through MLB's At the Ballpark app. That's available as a free download for iPhone and Android. Upgrading your seats is fast, simple, and fun. So hit the upgrade button when you get to the ballpark and enjoy the game from the comfort of your new seats. Diaz reached on an error by Hardy. Other action, Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia 2-1. That's bottom of the 5th at PNC. Pirates 52-31. There's the strike. Boston leading San Diego 3-1. Bottom of the 4th at Fenway. Tampa Bay 1, Houston nothing. That's in the bottom of the 3rd at the Juice Box. Good back. Says Sam Holbrook. So the count 2-1. And Washington, the Nasty Nast, defeated Milwaukee 8-5. At Nationals Park. 3-1 pitch.
That was a terrific sinker from Britton. That ball on the inside corner at the knees. Had Diaz hit the ball, he'd have pounded it to the right side.
Payoff pitch. Chopper 2 hopper Roberts. Two down, and that'll bring it for Alexei. Alexei lined out to Hardy. And Alexei, well, he is the only player in the major leagues this season who has played every inning. Every inning. Since the start of the 2009 season, Alexei leads all major league shortstops in games and innings played. Pulled a string on him right there, had him out in front. Alexei, a very, very slight, slender build, and yet he is so durable. There's the bunt, and it's going foul. It stays fair. Base hit. Meanwhile, 1-2 the count.
Last 20 games, Alexei's hitting .333. 29 hits. Stolen 6 bases. He's one of our main base stealing threats. He scored 9 runs.
Breaking ball. Looked over in front of our dugout. In that Cleveland now 3-0 lead over Kansas City. Drew Stubbs has hit his 7th homer, a 2-run shot. That was off James Shields. Checks it up. He did not go. That Tampa Bay series, we're going to run Axelrod, Sale, and Danks out there. They're going to run Hellickson, Moore, and Price. And another chopper 2 hopper. So 3 ground balls, softly hit, and we have finished 3, no score.
Ranch Doritos, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Mas.
Got the heart of the order coming up. Jones, Davis, and Hardy here in the top of the 4th inning.
There's a young lady that's really enjoying the reduced prices on popcorn because her budget is not all that much these days, so she's certainly taking advantage of it. As are all of the folks around today. Very nice crowd, and it's been a well-attended series.
Dollar hot dogs all series long. Adam Jones walked his first trip, takes the bunt. Kevinger playing way back at 3rd. And the count 1-0. Dollar hot dogs. Hello, hot dog. Outfield straight up. About equidistant. Little backdoor action on the slider. Kevinger now even with the bag. And off the line a couple of steps. Tries to double him up there and he missed. And that's foul back.
.50 pitches into the 4th inning, which for Jose actually is pretty decent. He's had a tendency to pile up the pitches early in ball games, and he's working a little more quickly today, which is a sign that he's pretty comfortable.
He gone. 4 strikeouts now for Quintana. And a reminder, send us your comments on today's game through Twitter using hashtag White Sox Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game, and it just might be yours.
Got to be careful on first ball fastball to Chris Davis.
Davis lined hard into a 6 unassisted double play. Threw that fastball right by him.
Kept that ball up in a very good spot.
Yes, a unique swing. Short, quick, and very much uppercut. I would say probably, in my recollection, the closest thing that this swing reminds me of a guy who also hit a lot of home runs was Roger Maris. Short, quick, and uppercut. That's low. Maris, of course, who had 61 homers in 1961. He gone. Gas upstairs. 5 strikeouts now for Jose.
Jose getting a lot of mileage out of that high fastball, and you saw Tyler Flowers wanting it there. This one just tips off the bat but sticks in the webbing. And Davis down on strikes.
First pitch strike to Hardy. He had a line drive in the left center field. Casper Wells got a good jump on, ran a good route, and made a good catch. And that one upstairs, 0-2. Missed last night's game. Hector Santiago got in a lot of trouble in the first inning. Pitched his way out of it, giving up just 1 run, and I'll tell you, he just settled down. Hector, 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, had 9 strikeouts. Another terrific outing for Santiago.
There's looking at Hector coming off his worst start of the year, but last night he looked like he did a couple of starts ago. Just 2 walks. He used that high fastball very well.
Two and two the count. He goes, strikes out the side, the heart of the order. 6 strikeouts now for Jose. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless. Sox in game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Last night in Colorado, all-everything rookie Yasiel Puig banged into the wall. They took an MRI on his hip and leg, saying that he was okay so far. Nothing about the disabled list, and Carl Crawford is ready and coming back, which means the Dodgers are going to have to make a decision, and that's probably either Sid Ethier or, to their liking, probably trade him, in which case they'll be looking for some pitching in return. And the Dodgers are going to be very active as we move closer to the trade deadline, and they have some pretty good young talent to go with a few major leaguers who might be available.
Alex Rios. Viciedo done. Here in half of the 4th inning. High and wide. Alex 0 for 1 hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the 1st. He's got the catbird seat. 2-0. There's a strike, as we mentioned. After the game, we are off to St. Pete. 3 with Tampa Bay. Tomorrow, that game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. On Saturday, it will be over Fox. And on Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet. 2-2.
There's some good news, bad news about Tampa Bay. The bad news is we will face Evan Longoria. The good news is he won't play defensively at third, battling plantar fasciitis. He's going to be their DH, and they believe it'll take some of the pressure off that foot and allowed him to stay in the lineup.
One of the best players in the game, Evan Longoria. With the leather and the lumber. One of those 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys who will just beat you to death. And the payoff pitch to Rios. in that series, as I mentioned, we're going to run Axelrod, Chris Sale, and Danks out there. And that Sale-Matt Moore matchup will be one of last year. As there, he just muscles that one into center field for a base hit. That was one of the best games we saw all season in 2012. Chris Sale and Matt Moore. So good speed aboard. He's 15 for 20 in stolen bases. He's on pace to steal 30. And here's Vicieto. Tank went out to center field. Big hack, no contact.
Chris Sale's been one of the best pitchers in the major leagues, but you look at his record and you just have to shake your head because he doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. He's just 5-7 this year. But when you have a 2.79 ERA in 15 starts, you fanned 114, walked just 24 and 106 in the third innings, you are dealing. And he could have easily won 10, maybe more at this point.
Checks it up, takes it up high. In that game I was just mentioning, Moore and Sale, they had 25 strikeouts in that game between them. It was a 2-1 White Sox victory. What a game. Wow. That was just good old-fashioned baseball. Chris's record certainly not indicative of the way he's pitched, nor is Quintana. In fact, Addison has blown 4 saves this year, 3 of them coming when Quintana started. Two and two. Come on, Tank. First and 30. All right, take him out of here. Decent lead by Alex. Now they got it. Whoa! Safe. High throw. You steal that on the first baseman.
Chris Davis took his time at first base and didn't get a particularly good angle. And when you're picked off and you're going on first move, you might as well just try to outrun the throw. So the high throw and long delivery. And Alex is in with Joe West on the call.
The only thing that the big hurt Frank Thomas couldn't do on a baseball field was throw. And you had a lot of guys who would steal on him. And one of the best that ever lived at that was a shortstop named Bert Campaneris, who played for the, as he gets him down and in, and that's out number 1 for the Kansas City A's and the Oakland Athletics. And when you got a right-handed first baseman out there, he didn't care what kind of move the guy had, because he was going to go. Then he was going to get inside the line, so the angle was going to be tougher. Stole many bases on the first baseman. So here's Adam Dunn. He had a single as they had the shift on. Roberts way out in right field. It was hit to his right, and Adam just beat it out. Breaking ball low and away. Getting back to Chris Sale, 114 strikeouts, leads All-American left-handers. Tied overall for 5th in the American League. 7th highest total in White Sox history prior to the break. That breaking ball hangs inside. Chris in just 44 starts has recorded games with 15, 14, 13 twice, 12, 11 twice, and 10 strikeouts. 2-1 to Dunn.
Adam Dunn, the last 22 games, not only been hitting the ball out of the ballpark with 9 of them, but he's hitting for an average, which is something that he doesn't do often. But his job is to drive in runs, and he's been certainly doing that 24 in 22 games.
He said he did not tip it. He called him out. He said he did not tip the ball. So 2 down.
Didn't look like he got a piece of it there. It looked like Teagarden just missed it. And it does go as a pass ball.
So Rios at third. And here's Keppinger. He drew a walk his first trip. Out and around that one and chops it foul. 0-2-1 for them, 0-2-0 for us. Quintana and Zach Britton.
Now Brian Roberts wants to come in and he wants to know how he's going to work Keppinger. Reason being, if he's going to pitch a middle in, Roberts can afford to play him more up the middle. If he's going to stay away, Keppinger has shown he'll use the whole field, and he doesn't want to create that much space between himself and Chris Davis.
There, one delivery. Nice block by Teagarden. Pittsburgh is taking check that. Philadelphia is taking a 4-2 lead over Pittsburgh. Game in the top of the 6th at PNC.
Looks like Britton might be hurt. Richie Bansales, the trainer, been there a long time, and he wants to find out if he is okay. Everybody congregating around the mound. Rick Adair, the pitching coach, one of the first on the scene.
He says everything is okay. And 1-1 to count. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 5th. A lot of goose eggs up on that board. Friday, July 26th, come see our Sox take on Kansas City at 7:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Palmer House Hilton. Palmer House Hilton, the official Sox Fest hotel of our White Sox. So purchase tickets, whitesox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. Brian Roberts struck out his first trip. Struck out on a high fastball. Takes a breaking ball strike. One and one to count.
This Oriole offense is first in home runs, slugging percentage there first, runs second, doubles second, batting average fourth. That's in the major leagues. They can get it done offensively.
That's high pop up. Now, what's to me more impressive than leading the big leagues in home runs is they catch the ball better than anybody in this league. You combine those two elements, sometimes that can overcome a lack of pitching. Catch the baseball and hit some home runs. Hit 271s a club. That's impressive. Here's Nate McLouth. He lined out to Diaza. We have 56 errors. They have 26 errors. Last year we led the major leagues in defense. So we have gone from first to worst. Do I know the count? McLouth 24 for 28 in stolen bases.
Nate McLouth was Pittsburgh's everyday center fielder. Then they moved him to Atlanta. Now he resides here in Baltimore. They had to make room for Andrew McCutchen, who's now one of the leaders on one of the biggest surprises in all of baseball, the Pirates.
Yes, he did. 2-2. Pirates with a 2-game lead over St. Louis. 4-game lead over Cincinnati. McLouth in high school, senior year, hit .514. And a little breaking ball pop up. Tyler's got room. 2 down. But McLouth, in 51 steal attempts, he stole 51 bases. And here's Reimold. Called out on strikes. Goes through that one. And that's can of corn into right field. So we're halfway home. 2 left-handers pitching their behinds off. As we get set to go to the bottom of the 5th, everything on the board looks alike except for the one error they've committed. 0-2-1 for them, 0-2-0 for us.
That young man has popcorn and peanuts, so a little less budgetary constraints.
Here's Wells. Casper lined out hard to his counterpart McLouth. It'll be Wells, Beckham, and Flowers to face Zach Britton. 2-0 lifetime against us. First ball, Honey. 2 Hopper. 1 out. And you can schedule Southpaw for your birthday party, your wedding, your holiday party, festival, or block party. So, to have Southpaw visit your next event, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/Southpaw. Hello, beautiful. Look at that. So here's Beckham. Takes first pitch strike. Beckham took Markakis back the edge of the track to end the 2nd inning. Breaking ball down and in, evens accounted 1.
That one got a piece of Teagarden, so Gordon gives him a little time. He has a conversation with Andy Fletcher, and back to work.
Off the end of the bat, good movements. Good movement, which he has by Britton. So that's 2 out, and Yankees leading Minnesota 5-1 after 4. Target field. Bottom of the 7th. At Citi Field, D-backs and Mets tied at 2. Houston has tied up Tampa Bay at 1. That's in the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox leading San Diego 5-2. Top of the 6th at Fenway. Phillies now stretching it out to a 5-2 lead over Pittsburgh. That's in the bottom of the 6th at PNC. And here's Flowers. He is grounded out to short.
What usually happens with sinker ballers is they have a lot of adrenaline early in the game, and as they move along, the ball sinks more and they get many more ground balls. Britton had 3 of them in the 3rd. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball last inning, and 2 ground balls this inning. Both pitchers with very impressive numbers.
Broken bat, base hit. He will take it.
Third single of the game for our guys. They have 2 singles. And with the bat shattering, he's aboard.
Piazza reached on an error and grounded out to second. It's awful. Those Pirates surprising, coming in 52 and 31. As I mentioned, 2 in front of the Cardinals, 4 in front of Cincinnati. Pirates won 9 out of the last 10. And there's another soft ground ball, and that will end the 5th. Into the 6th, still no score.
broadcast from Tropicana Field as the White Sox battle the Rays down south. Tune in as Dylan Axelrod squares off with Jeremy Hellickson. Don't miss the Sox Rays tomorrow night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. A nice chat with Buck Showalter, and he talked about his ball club. Now, Buck managed the Yankees. He managed the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Texas Rangers, and the Orioles now in his 4th year. And he came over there and did a lot of what Terry Francona is trying to do in Cleveland. That is change the culture. The Orioles were down for quite some time. Buck has really changed things around. Fundamentally, they're a very solid baseball team, and they're a talented group that's lacking maybe a starting pitcher or so.
First pitch strike to Teagard. Taylor struck out on a fastball. Nothing to nothing score here in the top of the 6th inning. Mitchell. Pittsburgh being in first place. Red Sox being in first place. Last time the Red Sox and the Pirates had the best records in their respective leagues on July 4th. It was back in 1903. 1903. Also on July 4th, 74 years ago today, Lou Gehrig gave his farewell speech. Two and two the count to a great baseball name, Taylor Teagard. Markakis on deck. Full count.
Pitch number 81 on the way, and most of them have been very good ones.
He gone. 7 strikeouts now for Quintana.
Last time up in the 3rd, he went to the high fastball. This time he goes to the low fastball with the same result. A swinging strikeout.
So here's Markakis. Grounded back hard to Quintana, and a single to left field. Low line drive. Breaking ball strike. Their other hit was a bunt single by Machado. One out, 1-1 to count. Now Markakis with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Machado on deck. Adam Jones in the hole. They've only stranded 1 guy. We've stranded 3. And I got a piece of Flowers.
Oh, that inside fastball right off the mask. And it's somewhat amazing that more catchers don't get whiplash from taking them consistently off the mask, and it runs in cycles. You won't get hit for a week, then you'll get hit 3 times in a game.
That's out of play. And speaking of catchers, Josh Fegley down in Charlotte. And David Percy, who's with us now, chosen to represent Charlotte at the 2013 AAA All-Star Game on Wednesday, July 17th in Reno, Nevada. They join manager Joel Skinner and hitting coach Brandon Moore as representatives from that team. Fegley leads all International League catchers in batting average at .316, home runs 15. Pretty good pitch right there. And did not get it.
This could have easily have gone the way of Quintana. It didn't.
So 1 out and a full count. And that's fouled back. Last night, Birmingham won 7-2. Barons with a first half record of 44 and 26. They clinched that playoff berth with that first half record in the Southern League. And let's check out what our man is doing down at Kannapolis. Micah Johnson just pokes that one out of there. Micah Johnson hitting at .342 down at Kannapolis. 17 doubles, 11 triples, 6 homers, 42 knocked in, and 61 stolen bases. Young man having quite a year. He gone. 8 strikeouts now for Quintana.
Most of the strikeouts today have been on fastballs. And that one close enough so that Markakis couldn't take it. And in a good enough spot so he couldn't hit it.
So here's Machado, that bunt single. And also hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice as he takes ball 1. Watch out.
I think somebody got hit pretty hard with that bat. As that one goes pinwheeling into the stands. Ooh.
Now Joe West talking to Quintana. So they're walking up there under their own power. And the count 1-1. Talking about Micah Johnson, 22-year-old infielder out of Indiana, IU. 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. 1-2 the count. $21,321. He gone. So he strikes out the side. 9 strikeouts for Jose. And after 5.5, we're still scoreless. 5% back on purchases in categories that you choose with the U.S. Bank Cash Plus Visa Signature Card. So apply today at any U.S. Bank branch. 5% back. Categories that you choose. But right here, we're in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, 3 hits for us. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for them. It'll be Ramirez, Rios, and Viciado. Alexei 0 for 2. He's lined to short and grounded out softly to second.
This is only the 5th major league start of the year for Britton. And he's averaged just a little over 5 innings per start. So with the heart of the order due up against him, nice time to get to work.
Breaking ball down. We had a man on third in the 4th inning. And Kepinger bounced out to second. We had a couple of guys on in the 2nd inning. As that ball hit down into the corner. So Alexei starts it off in fine fashion, picking up his 19th two-bagger.
He gets this ball up, and when a sinker baller does that, even with the changeup, he's got some problems. So into the 6th inning, and a pitch count that's starting to get a little extended for Britton. There's the go-ahead run.
That'll bring up Rios. Alex is hit into a 6-4-3 double play, and then a single. Also picked up a stolen base, his 16th in 21 attempts. Perfect scenario to get him over with a left-hander or sinker baller out there. Takes ball 1. Ball sinking down and away from you, being a right-handed hitter. And he's got the catbird seat at 2-0. Adam Jones, a couple of steps over towards Markakis in right field. Right back through the middle base hit. They're going to wave him around. Jones can throw. Here's the throw. Save! Sox lead at 1-0. Rios in the second. Alex, RBI number 38.
Second hit of the afternoon for Alex as he goes right back up the middle. Takes it right between the legs of Britton. And then it's just a race for Alexei Ramirez against the arm of Adam Jones.
All right, Tank, let's have a redo. Same thing. Get him over or get him in. Tank 0 for 2. A fly out to center and a strikeout. Pitch. 9 wide, ball 1. Done on deck. Trying to go that way. With a big swing. 1-1 to count. Again trying to go that way. But the count now 1-2. Run on 5 hits, no errors for us. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error for them. That's into right center field. Alex is tagging, as I said. Jones can throw off the mark, so Viciedo gets the job done. What a tank.
I like the way Jones set up and tried to make this throw. He really didn't have much of a chance because Alex is pretty fast. But he realized there was going to be a play. So he gets behind the ball, sets up, and comes forward. But throw is well off the mark.
Now the infield in for Adam. Adam had an infield single and a strikeout on a breaking pitch. Takes that one inside. Pitch number 85. And there's a base hit. Rios will score and to save 2-0. Hello. RBI number 56 for Adam.
Done with his second hit of the day. Gets a fastball. It's right down the middle. And with the pulled in infield, no chance at all. And so Rick Adair out to talk with Britton. We talked about the fact that for him this is an extended outing. And the boys are starting to get to him here in the 6th. Pen is up and going. Kevin Gausman, #1 draft pick, guy with a great arm. They would like to see him as a starter down the road. Right now, working him out of the pen.
Don't stop now, boys, as here's Keppinger. A walk and a soft ground out to second. Breaking ball strike. Softly hit down to Joe McEwing. He'll make himself a new friend. Hooks it. Nice pick by Machado. A nail turn. Boy, that is a nice double play turn by Machado. Roberts. But if we pick up a pair, we'll go to the 7th leading 2-0.
two guys in the league with better hands than Machado. And that's Beltre and Longoria. There you see him smother and flip to second. He chose his own hop. It turns into an easy double play. Great play by Machado, who is a lifetime shortstop, who's just learning his trade at third, and he's going to be a great one.
So a 2-0 lead for our guys. And it'll be Jones, Davis, and Hardy. And Jose, there's your 2 runs, buddy. Hold them right there. Adam has walked and struck out. 9 strikeouts for Quintana. Struck out the side last inning. Struck out the side in the 4th. And goes through that one. Later on tonight, Texas hosting Seattle. That'll be Iwakuma against Martin Perez. Perez of the good changeup Perez's. Back over our heads. 0-2 the count. So new career high in strikeouts for Quintana. Tried to backdoor him. Couldn't get it there. A beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful. Sox trying to win a series for the first time since we swept the Marlins. Just got a piece of that one. And later on, the Oakland A's hosting the Cubs. Straley on the bump while the Athletics. So Oakland a half game in front of the Wranglers. Texas 12 over at 48-36. A's 49-36. There's a good pitch. He just ate him up. Gordon. 1 out.
Time now for the whiff, brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and it was the last time that Davis came up in the 4th inning. High fastball. That one misses inside. Another high fastball. That one misses down. And the third of 3 high fastballs, and Davis goes down on strikes. And that is the whiff.
Davis is lined into a double play and struck out. Struck out on some high fastballs. That sweep of the Marlins back in May. Very quickly the count 0-2. Only man in the history of this game to have 30 or more homers and 25 or more doubles before the end of June. Wow. He's a little upset with himself right there. He got a cookie and couldn't do anything with it.
At the 104 pitch mark, Nate Jones is starting to loosen up. And if Jose goes back to a fastball, he'd just as soon not keep it as low as that last one was.
Count evens at 2. Hey, another souvenir left side. He gone. Yes. 10 strikeouts. 2 down. Oh, high fastballs.
See Tyler Flowers standing up. And if you've got an uppercut swing, you cannot catch up with any high heat. And almost without exception, that's what Jose has done today.
Hardy has gone out to left. Good catch by Casper Wells. And he was called out on the strikes. A good fastball. That evens the count at 1. Santiago with 9 strikeouts last night. We had 11 total. And Quintana with 10 this afternoon.
That ball hits off the glove, trickles away, and if Jose gets through this inning, and you would expect that he would at this point, it will mean that the 3 left-handers who started this series each recorded 21 outs. And if he does get out of this inning with Jones loosening up, you'd figure this to be his last inning.
Hardy just nicked it. Yankees now leading Minnesota 9-1. That's in the bottom of the 6th, the Target field. Bottom of the 9th in New York. D-backs and the Mets tied at 2. And right here the 1-2 pitch. He gone. Took some off that breaking ball. Had him way out in front. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-0.
Earl Chaney for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
2-0 Sox lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-6-0 for our guys. 0-2-1 for their guys. Quintana, no runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 11 punch outs. Casper Wells can't get it. Casper is lined hard to left and grounded softly to short. Another great job by Gerald Chaney on God Bless America. One and one to count. Casper thought that was low, but he's been consistent. Andy Fletcher calling that pitch all day long for both sides. Gap out there in left center. That breaking ball down and in. Beckham on deck, Flowers in the hole.
Baltimore bullpen up and going once again, in case Britton has the same kind of problems he had last inning.
Got him. Third strikeout for Britton. And right now, let's check out our AT&T tweet of the game from @WildDane Moores. He says the Q-Man is wheeling and dealing today, and @WildDane Moores, you got that right, driver. 11, a new career high in strikeouts. And here's Beckham. Jordan has gone out deep to right and grounded to second. Kansas City has come back to tie Cleveland at 5. That's in the bottom of the 6th at Kauffman Stadium. Lorenzo Cain is homered. George Contreras is homered. Roberts is going to get him again. 2 down. And a reminder, great seats are still available for the season. Prices have been greatly reduced for all games, and the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, and post-game fireworks. Tickets for all remaining Monday through Saturday games start as low as $7, and Sundays start only $5. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. There's Flowers. He is grounded to short and then had a broken bat single. Watch out. There's a good strike right on the outside corner. And that is into right field. They got a good one out there for out number 3. And we'll go to the 8th. It's a 2-0 White Sox lead.
A spectacular performance by Jose Quintana. Jones out for the 36th time. He's been in the series once already in relief of Johnny Danks in the opener, and he went 2/3 of an inning. He's 3-4, the ERA 4.29, 41 strikeouts in 42 innings. And Quintana went 7. No runs on 2 hits, 1 a bunt, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. That young man enjoyed the outing of Quintana today.
Brian Roberts, switch hitting second baseman, takes that one high and wide. Roberts 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop up to left field. No walks. Come on, Nate. There are extra innings in New York. D-backs and Mets tied at 2. There's the strike. Tampa Bay and Houston tied at 2, top of the 7th. Unadmittedly. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Boston now leading San Diego 7-2. Padres on a 5-game losing streak. They got to 500, now have all of a sudden lost 5 in a row and working on 6. Philadelphia leading Pittsburgh 6-4 at PNC. That's after 8. Full count.
David Percy starting to loosen up. 32-year-old left-hander. He got recalled when Jesse Crain went down. You can never have too many left-handers in your bullpen, and Percy was having a great run at it in AAA.
Dreaded leadoff walk. And a reminder, our White Sox and Athletico Physical Therapy both understand the importance of injury prevention in players and fans' daily activities. So visit athletico.com/blog for injury prevention tips. Athletico Physical Therapy, the official physical therapy provider of our White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. So here's Nate McLouth. That didn't take long. The leadoff walk will get you in a lot of trouble. So now men on second and third, nobody out. That dreaded leadoff walk. Deadly.
In the 2/3 of an inning in the opening game, Jones also gave up a hit and a walk. The difference is he got removed facing Chris Davis. And this time we'll see a pinch hitter for Nolan Reimold. They've been using Chris Dickerson. And that's who they're using today.
So his job is to get one in and one over with the infield back, and the count 0-1. I'll tell you, Jose Quintana didn't have any bad luck. He wouldn't have any at all. Yeah, it's a count 0-2.
Got Matt Wieters in the on-deck circle, the switch hitting catcher, who was their everyday catcher.
Checks it up. A ball and 2 strikes to Dickerson.
You're going to call that slider again. Tyler Flowers had best block anything down and in, because one getting away here could be devastating.
Caught by Beckham. Nice timing by Gordon.
Beckham makes a terrific play, and his first thought is to look for the double play at second. So that slider stayed up, hit hard by Dickerson, and then Gordon looking for two, but McLouth back.
Good base running by McLouth. And here comes Robin. Wieters has been announced. So Robin has his say. Wieters hitting for Teagarden, who was 0 for 2 today.
Wieters has been a pinch hitter 3 times this year. When you're the everyday catcher, you don't get a chance to do this too often. He's 0 for 3.
Fouls that one down. Wieters 0 for 8 in this series.
Here's their AT&T UVerse multi-view. Gives you a look at the 2 big base runners in scoring position.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. And the count 1-1.
This ball just a touch inside. Didn't miss by much.
Threw that one right by him. That would have 98. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give him one. Right underneath his hands high. That's a fair ball. And everybody's safe off the glove. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Runners at the corners.
He threw a high fastball by him the pitch before, and this time got it on the inner portion, and it was down. Now Adam goes over. Looks like he's going to make the play, and just doesn't. So it's an air 3, but a run batted in for Wieters.
So the leadoff walk scores. And here's Markakis.
Markakis used to run a little better than he runs now. You can still turn 2, but the infield a little shorter than halfway.
That slider hooked foul.
Nick's grounded into 10 double plays this year, and that's leading the ball club. But with runners in scoring position, hitting .315, and he's driven in 31, so he's been one of their better run producers in situations like this.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Outstanding speed at third. Wieters at first. That one at 99.
Be a great job if Nate can strike him out, because this is a guy with only 37 strikeouts and 343 at bats. Nate's got good enough stuff to strike out anybody in this league.
That's going to get the job done. So the error, the leadoff walk, and we're tied at 2. Quintana it's just unreal. That young man, how he has pitched last year and this year and come up empty.
5th sacrifice fly of the year for Markakis. This time Nate gets that slider down and out over the plate. And Markakis does what he's done all year. Driving in a big run, his 43rd, and just like that, the game's tied at 2.
Here's Machado. He's 1 for 3, a bunt single. Slider strike. Lead off walks. Another slider, another strike, and the count 1-2. That fastball at 99. Two and two. Now field straight up, spread out about equidistant. Kevin's your back and guarding the line at third. Quintana this year has left the game with the lead 6 times and tied 3 times, and his record is 3-2.
That last stop by Tyler Flowers might have been a game saver, because that was a tough ball to handle. A slider down, and it bounced in front of the plate.
And here's a payoff pitch. The leadoff walk, jumps up and bites us right in the arse.
Land Rover. Watch each night as Cap and his panel debate the hottest topic in sports and tackle Chicago's biggest sports stories. Don't miss Sports Talk Live tonight and every weeknight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. So we've got a new battery. Matt Wieters stays in the game behind the plate. And hard-throwing Tommy Hunter comes into the game. Pitched an inning last night. He's 3-1, ERA 196. Just 8 walks, 37 strikeouts in 46 innings. And last night he had a 1-2-3 eighth before handing the ball to Johnson to nail down yet another save for the big right-hander.
Top of the order for us, Diaza, Ramirez, and Rios. Diaz 0 for 3. He's glad to see Britton out of there. Takes that one at 96. A little high neck in.
Hunter came over from the Texas Rangers in one of the best deals maybe in Baltimore history. Hunter and Chris Davis in exchange for Koji Uhura.
One and one to count. Diaz a 1 for 3 against Hunter with a home run. Bottomless 7th, the Kansas City Indians now leading 7-5. Breaking ball again. Diaz hits more off his feet, his legs, than probably any hitter in this league.
This breaking ball low and in. And even with that shin guard and what little protection it gives you, can't feel too good. So Robin is coming out with Hermy. They want to talk with Diaz. Find out if he is okay.
Two runs, 6 hits. A big error for us. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for them. One out. And you can support the Dominick's and White Sox Wise Food Drive on Saturday, July 20th. Fans can donate non-perishable food items or make monetary contributions at U.S. Cellular Field when our Sox take on the Atlanta Braves. So Dominick's and White Sox Wise Food Drive to benefit the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Here's Alexei. It's 1 for 3. Started off that 2-run 6th with a double down into the left field corner. Takes first pitch strike. He likes Hunter. Faced him 8 times, has 5 hits. Underneath that fastball. Hunter is a 2-time junior Olympic judo champion. Out of Indianapolis. That ball had a lot of sail on it right there. The 95 and the count 1-2. That's up and tank. Breaking ball looped out into short center field with Adam Jones underneath it. 2 down.
Addison Reed loosening in the pen. And if he does come into this, it's going to be Jones, Davis, and Hardy. The heart of the order to face him in the 9th.
Here's Rios. 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored, also a stolen base. Checks it up, takes ball 1. A lot of conversation about a lot of clubs calling about Alex Rios. And why not? He's a heck of a player. 3-0. Viciato on deck. Turn him loose, Robin. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 8th. 2 out, nobody on. Taking all the way. He wouldn't have swung at that one anyway.
The rally caps.
High and deep in the center field, but not deep enough. We're into the 9th, tied at 2. That is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At-Bat delivers White Sox baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, breaking news, and video. So download At-Bat now on the Apple App Store, Google Play, Kindle App Store, BlackBerry World, or text At-Bat to 31826.
Addison Reed comes into the game at 3-1. The ERA 3.89 on for the 36th time. And when a manager uses his closer in the 9th inning, he's trying to buy 1 inning and turn it over to his offense. The heart of the order will come up in the bottom of the 9th inning. In the meantime, the heart of the order coming up in the top of the 9th inning.
Adam Jones, a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out to second. And Kansas City has tied up Cleveland at 7. Game in the top of the 8th now at Kauffman Stadium. Hosmer hit a home run. Joe Smith, as that ball is hooked foul.
It'll be impossible to get the ball between Keppinger and the bag because he's almost standing on top of the bag. That is the extreme no double set.
This is the first time Adam Jones has ever seen Addison, as it will be for Chris Davis on deck. Breaking ball and the count 0-2. Now take a little more off of it. High pop up. Adam taking charge. And a big out. So here is Davis. Chris is lined into a double play hard and struck out twice on high fastballs on a steady diet of them. Takes first pitch. Slider strike. For our guys in the bottom of the ninth, it'll be Viciedo, Dunn, Keppinger, Wells, the schedule hitters. Don't mess around down low with this guy, Addison. There's a reading that he got 32 homers and 26 doubles. 58 extra base hits. That's only been. Yes, he did. He's on track to get 100 extra base hits, which has only been done 15 times. The 1-2 pitch. Change up.
Johnson and Mattis. If they score, it'll be the closer Johnson. If not, it'll be former first-round pick Brian Mattis, now working out of the bullpen exclusively.
He gone. Gas. 2 down.
Tyler Flowers wants it up. This ball touches the outside part of the inside corner, and they get the call.
Hardy is lined hard to left. Casper Wells making a nice catch on him and struck out twice. He has faced Addison twice and he has 1 hit. Good try, just off the corner. And that's a souvenir upper tank. 21,321. Had a nice walk up today. 26,000 last night for that spectacular fireworks show. There's a chopper to hopper. And a nice job by Addison. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth with a chance to win it. Viciedo, Dunn, and Keppinger. player of the game, you're looking at him. Our 24-year-old southpaw, Jose Quintana. 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, a new career high. And he's our GMC player of the game. So right here, Viciedo, Dunn, and Keppinger. Tank is 0 for 3. Couple of flyouts to center. One of them got the job done. As that moved Alex over to third base. So Tommy Hunter. That cutter at 96. Tank has faced Tommy 3 times and he's 0 for 3. Lays off that one.
Hunter back in 2010 with the Texas Rangers was 13-4 in 22 starts. But after some arm problems, the shift to Baltimore, where he started out as a starter, now he's a pensman.
One and 2 the count.
Last year he was 7-8. He appeared in 33 games, 20 of them starts. They decided that his fastball was a whole lot better when working out of the bullpen, and we've seen it in the last 2 days.
Tank has barreled up a lot of pitches, but underneath them. He's had the barrel on the ball, but just underneath it. That Tank has had an only walk-off home run this year, April 7th against the Mariners. And that's fouled, and get out of here. It will. And once again, a very happy 4th of July to each and all out there. Make it a loving, safe one, and reflective one.
Matt Lindstrom loosening in the pen. Matt had a tough night last night. Didn't give up the game-winning hit.
That ball hit into right field, Markakis, and it's just fouled. Dadgummit. But if it's fair, he may have caught it. So
Rob Drake right on the call as he hustled down the line. Markakis sees it's going to be around a foot foul and pulls up on it.
count hangs at 2-2.
Tommy Hunter is trying to stay away with everything. When he went inside on only one pitch, he pushed him back off the plate to set up going away again.
And that's high into right field, but it's a can of corn. 1 out.
That time, because he went away the entire at bat, when he used that fastball in on his hands, Viciedo couldn't get his hands out. You see where Wieters wants it. Hunter throws it right there. And Diane can't get enough on it.
Tank had the barrel on it, just underneath it. And here's Adam. Adam 2 for 3 with an RBI. And he has faced Tommy Hunter 5 times and has drawn the collar.
Well, for Adam, he's thinking about one thing and one thing only. He wants one down, preferably middle out, and he'd like a fastball.
2-0 the count.
There's a break there because that one had the whole plate. Pitch tracks will show you just under the letters inside.
And there's the strike. That will even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Our big guy who has 22 homers and 56 knocked in. And in his career, Adam has had 8 walk-off homers. Full count. Hardy well over on the first base side of second. Roberts well out there in the short right field. Davis. That ball hit high and deep stretch. McLeod goes back, make it 9 walk-off homers. You can put it on the board. Yeah, hell yeah. Sox winning 3-2.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And we mentioned that Adam had one thing on his mind, and that one thing was winning the ball game, hitting it out of the ballpark. And he got a breaking ball that Hunter got up, and he went the opposite way. The big man is strong enough to carry it out. He did just that as McLeod runs out of room. And the Sox win the series 2-1.
Number 23, 57 RBIs. And what? It's about time that we caught a break. The 9th walk-off homer of his career for Adam Dunn. And is he ready downstairs?
I'm ready, pal.
Big man. Nice going, buddy.
Thank you, bro. I gotta watch out for Lexi.
No, you better watch out for more than that. Well, I just said you had 8 career walk-offs, and pow!
Just can't seem to score runs, but when I booted that ball, I'm just glad I could make up for it.
Adam, this ball club, we both know is a heck of a lot better than we have played. We've been getting good pitching. It's been a situation where we didn't hit, but Jeff Manto has been working with you guys very hard.
He has. I mean, it hurts, to see the production that we're doing because of how hard those guys are working for us. And each and every day he's the first one in the cage, last one to leave, and he's been great, and that's why it hurts so much.
Well, if we can get Jake back, if we can get Paulie back, we still got 19 games left with Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to get on a roll, and hopefully this has started something good.
Well, you may have put us on a roll. Let's hope for that, Biggin.
Let's hope so. Thank you.
All right, Adam Dunn with a walk-off homer. All right, Sox win it 3-2. So for Steve Stone, for our director Jim Ancio, for our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, also the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, and also Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Paul Carey, Doug Bullard down in South. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, the Overland Park Nissan postgame show with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.